All right, since we're live. Morning,
All right.
Ruffy.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Charlie. You're the first one in. I'd say you get a prize, but
You get a prize to watch me pay off my debt.
yeah, buddy. So, where do we start? Let's see. Who Dey? How about that? Now we had a little wager on the ball game last week.
I got the point spread right.
Yeah. So the wager on the ball game was the Bengals Panthers. The losing team had to cook in the colors of the winning team. Yeah.
That's
So,
it.
huh?
That's a good way to explain it.
Yep. So it was a good time. We had a blast.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Seats were way up there, but they weren't as up nosebleed. We were kind of like gut punch. But
And I told you didn't need the binoculars to see the field.
Yeah. It was. We had pretty good seats. What's up, Terry? And I mean, it was good. It was a good game. Offense, defense, both was all good on both sides. It was kind of neat to see Andy Dalton again. But
You know, it's funny. Lee's sitting there with all of his Bengals gear on, and because he likes both teams, and he was sitting there. No matter which team made a good play, he was all up into it, screaming and cheering. He was all excited, even if we made a really good play. No, he was cheering for both teams.
Yeah, and that's when it's fun. It's when you like both teams.
Yeah.
And you don't. Last night we were sitting at wife and I were sitting at dinner, and they had on the Clemson Florida State game. I had no dog in that fight at all, but it was a good game.
Who won?
I don't know. It was still on when we came home, and I went to bed. I didn't watch it, but I did see Teton lost to Washington. That's great. And the kicker for the day.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you what I saw on Facebook this morning. So I'm guessing this is what you're going to talk about. Of course, I have no idea how big of a deal this is, but people were saying they were amazed that Alabama, I think, lost.
Yes.
And
yes.
I mean, I didn't know. Again, I know nothing about college ball. I'm like, somebody wins and somebody loses every game. Why is that such a big deal? But I mean, I've seen, 25, 30 posts about that particular game. So apparently it was a big deal.
Yes, because Alabama is kind of like the Patriots under Bill Belichick. Everybody was gunning for, because they win a lot. And Vanderbilt is their best winning record since 1920 something or other was 9-4, 9-5. So for Vanderbilt to come out.
Okay, so Vanderbilt. Everybody, all the posts that I see, I saw it said like Vandy, Vandy. That's their nickname.
That's the shortened version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like my name's Bill, William for short.
William Bill for short. Gotcha.
See, if I had that recalculating thing, you'd have been like. But yes, so that was a huge upset. Vanderbilt is normally like a 500 team. They win probably about around 45% of their games. In conference, though, it's usually not. They're not in the top of the SEC.
Okay.
So for them to knock off one of the top of the SEC, that's pretty huge. So I didn't watch that game, but But yes, big deal. Big deal. So today, Rusty is going to make something orange and black. I don't know what. I told him I didn't want to know. What's up, honey badger? Told him I didn't want to know. I just want to see what. Come in for a minute. Looks like mom and dad are headed to our house to evacuate from the hurricane. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, Mandy, give them big hugs for me. I know that other hurricane's coming in. I saw something last night that it's supposed to be like a Cat 2. But it may go up from, so is your regulator charged? You might have opened the burners too fast.
Well, this one wasn't off whenever I opened it.
Yeah, so you're. You're open there. You just didn't charge it. You're good. Now start it. If the bad one wasn't on, was on, then it didn't charge it. Like it didn't have
right
back pressure. There you go. I did see that some of the family had made it down that way to Florida, so that's good. Yeah, the more and more stuff that's coming out, I tell you what, I don't know if I like having all this social media and all this stuff readily available. Like, it's just crazy because there's so much stuff the government's pulling on us over this natural disaster stuff that it's just getting disgusting.
And the amount of misinformation that's getting spread is ridiculous. The amount of scammers out there, people trying to take advantage of the situation. I mean,
well, and it's your own politicians doing most of it.
I know.
That's what I'm.
And they have like the helicopter guy rescuing these people and then being told, if you go back out there again, we're going to arrest you.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes no sense at all.
Anyway, y'all know what's going on. If you don't know, evidently it's all over TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok, but apparently I watched a couple of videos, a couple of things, and I don't know. I know what I saw. I drove up. I was probably about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Boiling Springs and or Boiling Rock, whatever. Up around Asheville. I was up around Columbus, North Carolina, and there was a lot of trees down. There was, in that area, didn't get hit near as hard. So, I don't know. But we're not going to get into politics because that's just not me. Huh?
This flat top being black and it being dark over here, whenever I set it down, I didn't see. I set it down with the trough over here.
That's why Nolan did it last week. So, it's all right. Rusty, are you making candy corn?
Candy corn? No candy corn.
Yeah, Charlie, he's not James, he's the Badger. Honey Badger. Rusty's about to do a Richard Pryor. About to blow some stuff up. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm just turning this platter around.
Oh, I think that's how you were going to make orange and black candy corn. Well, he might. I don't know what he's got in the bag over there. Supposedly the people voted for it. You know, I don't know, buddy. I'm not going to get into my thoughts on it, but it's.
But it was funny. The fire chief that told the helicopter pilot that if he flew out there again, that they were going to arrest him. I mean, everybody just went crazy on that fire chief. The very next day, there was an apology issued, and it was like, "Hey, if you can help us, come here and help us. We will appreciate anybody's help."
Well, they pulled down anybody that was using a drone to find people. They were pulling them down and telling them that if they went up again, they were getting fined and arrested.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There was, of course, bodies are being washed up, and
yeah,
one lady called and was like, called the 911, and they were like, what's your emergency? She goes, we're fine, but I have bodies in my front yard. And they're like, yeah, we'll pass that on to this other group who are doing collections. But anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, but it's some BS, absolute BS. So I pray that this next hurricane drops down and becomes just a light rain, because it's absolutely sickening what's going on. So anyway, so we went to the ball game. It was really kind of neat for me to see that many Bengals fans in Charlotte. I've run into a few of them here and there, but to actually see that many, I mean, it was probably 50, 45% Bengals to Panthers. I mean, there was a lot of orange out there. Maybe not that high, but there was a lot of orange out there. Be careful with the mis and disinformation. I wouldn't consider noticing a problem in the political issues. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, this thing here with we got paid. Her roommate met halfway in Columbus, North Carolina. So that was about an hour and a half from Colowee, about an hour and 40 minutes for me. So I drove up there, kind of took my time, stayed in the slow lane. It took me all back roads, so I didn't have, the interstate or anything like that. Apparently, they're rerouting a lot of the traffic that would normally go I-40 down to Charlotte to pick up 85. So traffic is nuts, from what I've heard. But we didn't have that bad of traffic. Traffic getting out of the game was bad.
It was.
The traffic getting to the game wasn't too bad. And it was pretty mild. There wasn't a whole lot of. There was only one couple that got asked to leave by security, so that wasn't too bad, uneventful. But let's see. Charlie says maybe he's making blackened Cajun grilled cheese.
Well,
I guess we could ask.
Well, I'm just sitting here getting my preparation started while you're sitting here talking about the game. But I'll be happy to go ahead and explain what I am making.
Yeah. So let's start with, we had the bet. What were your initial thoughts on the bet?
just a nice, fun, jovial bit between two friends.
Well, I mean, like, you were probably like, what are you going to make that's blue?
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here thinking, what could he possibly make that's blue for me to eat? And I'm like, blueberries. But, I mean, I just had no idea.
Yeah. And then as we're approaching the fourth quarter, he's like, orange and black, huh?
We was in the car coming home. He said, I'm just glad that I don't got to come up with something blue to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local grocery store is fresh out of Smurf.
They are. Food Line does not carry Smurf, actually. Publix, I don't think Publix does either. But so what did you come up with?
Okay.
Because you've had a week to think about it.
I'm sitting here thinking of what kind of foods are orange and what kind of foods are black, and just going through my mind, trying to stay somewhat healthier for Lee, knowing that stuff that he doesn't eat is something that he actually brought up. So I decided, he said something about sweet potato fries because those are orange. And I said, yeah, those are. But I left it. I never thought about it again because I don't like sweet potatoes. I never make sweet potato fries, sweet potato anything. But I just happened to be at the grocery store, and lo and behold, right in front of me, a bag of sweet potato French fries. And I'm like, there's the sign that I needed. So I grabbed me some sweet potato fries. Then I started thinking, okay, this is Cincinnati, no Bengals. What else goes with it? Then I started thinking about, well, he does the skyline chili quite often whenever we talk about Cincinnati. So I'm starting putting things together in my head. And then I started thinking about the black. What can I do that's black? So I actually have this pouch of blackened seasoning I have never had used before. I just opened it today. I probably had this for 2 or 3 months. And so today will be the first time that I use it. So I am making him a blackened chicken sandwich, and I am doing sweet potato fries with skyline chili on it, shredded cheese on it, and onions, just like they do the skyline chili on the spaghetti, except for instead of spaghetti noodles, I'm putting it on top of sweet potato fries.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
When I went to the store, I could not find skyline chili, so I got just a can of regular chili. I got here and I told him, and he said, well, I just happen to have actual skyline chili in the refrigerator. It was the leftovers from last week. So I actually got true skyline chili to make this now instead of the can of regular Hormel that I had.
Yep. Only one place, well, there's 2 grocery stores, both of them are Publix, that sell skyline chili. So that's what I got. So I've got it. I try to keep a can in the fridge. Well, a can in the pantry, and then I'm the only one that really eats it. So I had a bit left over from last week, so I have a can. Betting a pinky toe would have gotten 100K views. Probably. But I don't know. It's interesting you say that because there is a guy that I watch, the Van Life guy, up in Canada, and he was in Alaska. I think it was Alaska. But anyway, he stopped at this it was an old mining town. And in there, I can smell that seasoning.
Yeah, it smells really good.
And in that town, they have where one of the guys that lived there donated his toes to the bar, and they have it pickled or whatever, and they drop that into a shot glass, and you have to take the drink. Well, it's not a shot glass. It's like a little cocktail cup, what's the little short ones that they do 2 fingers in, 3 fingers? The whiskey glasses.
I got no idea. I've never been a drinker of liquor.
Yeah. Anyway, so they put it in that, and then you have to do your shot, and the toe has to touch your lips, and then you get a certified letter saying that you got
Wow.
that you did this shot. Some king. Some cottage blue. And the rare lobster.
Yeah, I have seen that lobster.
Yeah, Charlie, I was like, what? And it's kind of interesting when you watch this, and one of the guys that he meets up there, who's a subscriber of his, actually becomes the new captain. So he's the guy that sits at the bar and has his own table and signs the thing, the certificates. And then you can buy like a shirt that says, I did the toe shot or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I guess the first toe's been around for 100 years.
Wow.
Like
that scene on the movie Friday, whenever the guy's in the bar and they have a turd inside the pickle juice jar.
Oh yeah. Charlie says a million ways no. That is wrong in so many ways. I guess because it's pickled, that I don't know if it's pickled or if it's what do they call that? The solution they put it in?
Formaldehyde.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I was watching this and it was like, no way. I don't know. I don't know if I could break sobriety for that. Just to say that I did it. But yeah. And it's I don't know. It would be nice to get 100K views on something though.
Yeah, that would.
I'm not really willing to cut off my toe though. Maybe if I get like the canned pig brains or something. Have you seen that?
Yeah, my grandpa used to eat that for breakfast.
Canned pig brains. Oh, Terry got a new camper. That's awesome. Awesome. Nice. You guys getting ready for a big trip coming up there, Terry, or are you just planning it because it's new? So I found something out. I've been kind of just bored, and I was binge watching rocket stoves.
Right.
Because I think those are really cool. And
I
seeing how I've got a lot of brush that I need to burn up, I was like, rocket stoves would be cool, but I don't have a welder or the money for the steel to make one. And right now, steel is going to be outrageous. So I was looking at something similar to because with everything going on, I was thinking, if we lost power and couldn't get water, because like Faye was on a boil ban, and what would she need to boil water, kind of thing? Like she had power, so that was fine.
Right.
But I was like, our little 1-quart pot stuff.
Yeah.
What I found was a number 10 can, the big can.
Mm-hmm.
Our little burner sits perfect in there. So my idea, I'm kicking around, is a way to fasten two of those, one on top of the other. So that way it's a big flue, and then open up the bottom to stick your firebox can in the front. So then you have a good draw. I don't know if that'll work.
It would still be just a propane fire. It wouldn't be.
No. I'm thinking for the brush outside.
Oh, okay. Just because
to make a mini rocket stove.
Okay. So not actually put our burner in there. Actually.
Right. But the burner does fit. So, thinking like for Pay, using her as the example, she could go to college, have a number 10 can with that burner in there and a isobutane thing because it's small, and she would be able to boil water.
Yeah.
Everything would fit inside that number 10 can. And I was like, that's small enough she could stick it in her closet and not worry about it until she needed it.
Yep.
It was just, that was where I was going with the number 10 can. But then I was like, our chimney starters, we did the same thing kind of with that, but this wouldn't have the handle on it like the chimney starter. And I got to looking at the one I have, and if I cut the handle off at the rivets, the whole thing unfolds. So, but it was just
she could boil water on just like our burner system we're using for the 1-quart pot.
Yeah,
wouldn't have to get two number 10 cans and
well,
make all that.
For that, it would be just a one can, a 1 number 10 can. But I was thinking that would be cheap because you're eating the stuff out of the can, and then instead of spending the $10 or $20 on a chimney starter.
For portability, though, having the handle, it might be worth the $10 just to go ahead and just make that other one.
It was just something I was kicking around.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking, like all this stuff got us kind of thinking a little more, I don't want to say outside the box, but, that it hit a little closer to home. Being that, we've had family members in different hurricanes and storms and stuff like that, and but it's different when it's your kid, kind of thing. So, but that was just something I've been kicking around. I was talking with Keita Mike about it the other day. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, because he was kind of thinking the same thing, do I have a way to cook if we lost power for days? Because I didn't know how bad Columbia and the Low Country got. So Columbia was without power for about 4.5 days. Parts of Columbia, not all of it, but parts of it was. I didn't know that. Of course, the only thing we heard about was Colby because we were watching the college, and then, of course, the whole Asheville thing. So, but I don't know. Let's see. 95 per hour. Okay. It was given to you. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Wife and I have talked about camping, but she is so not an outdoors lady. Like no. The only time she wants to sit outside is when it's by a pool or at the beach. But which we've got a beach trip coming up.
Yes, sir. We leave Friday morning.
Yeah. We're kind of excited. She's got a friend flying in from Ohio into Charlotte. And then we're heading down to Edisto for the weekend. And what are we doing in Edisto aside from just being at the beach?
We are going to be judging another barbecue competition.
Yep.
And it's funny, whenever the registration to become a judge opened up at 4 p.m. And Lee and I were sitting there waiting. And as soon as
not together.
As soon as 4 p.m. hit, we go to log on real quick and to sign up. He got accepted, and in a matter of just seconds, all the spots were completely filled, and I was bumped down to the standby. And I'm going anyway because they usually, whenever you show up, they always find something for you to do. But he got accepted, but that filled up so fast that I got knocked out. I didn't get the initial judge.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. We'll get to go do that, and we got a B&B, so we'll be down there. There's some cool places that we like to frequent. So, but a beach hook and cook. Well, we might be able to do something like that. We'll see. Because I think the hurricane coming in is coming in from the Gulf, so it shouldn't.
I've been looking.
Yeah.
Making sure our trip was still a go.
So. And I know Charlie was wanting to see a catch and cook.
I've been wanting to do one.
We haven't been out fishing in quite a while.
I know.
But, let's see. So what else you got going on?
Well, me personally, I don't have anything else going on until now. The band's barbecue has been moved over to November. So I got a month with no big cooks lined up.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any big cooks. The F3 guys, one of them's doing a big barbecue sale, but it's next weekend and we're gonna be gone. So I would order some from him, but we're not gonna be here that weekend, so that was kind of a bummer. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, like if the power went out, I was watching the guy and he's like, they lost power for 4 days. And they had to throw everything away in the refrigerator and half the stuff in the freezer. I was like, man, I got ways to cook. I just wouldn't have a way to refrigerate after I cook.
Exactly.
So it'd be like fire it all up, have a big cook, and then start giving it away. I mean, I got turkey, so the turkey would take about 4 days to fall. Then, pork butts take about 2 or 3 days, 3 days, it's all out. So, but, let's see.
And there was a lot of that going on. You saw on Facebook. Communities getting together saying, hey, we got all this food that's thought out. We got to cook it. We got to eat it. And they were all getting together and having, 15, 20 families together, bringing their thought out food and using grills and stuff and cooking so that people had something to eat.
Yep. Let's see. Well, I don't really. I keep the kickoff grill sports. Oh, okay, here we go. I keep my kickoff grills, Sportsman, Coleman, 50 propane cans, 10 bags of charcoal, and 10 bundles of firewood on hand all the time. Wow. I mean, yeah, I got charcoal grills and stuff like that. I got a couple gassers, I got a couple propane tanks, but nothing like that.
I know.
Good Lord. Yeah, you're right, Charlie. That's a lot. You got it all in like one spot. Because here was the thing I was thinking. One of the guys was talking about, prepping and that kind of stuff, right? And, I said, well, looking at my house, if I were to be a prepper, I'd have to store it in the garage.
Right.
And if it got that bad, the trees on the side would fall, and chances are they're coming into the house because of where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in the house, the garage, they're going to end up in the garage. That's just, so there's a good chance that I wouldn't be able to get to my prep, the stuff that I prepped. So I was kind of like, there you're preparing, but then if you can't get to what you prepared, then what?
Exactly.
Or a 5-gallon bucket's not going to hold up when a tree falls on it. So if it's coming through the house and, you got 5 gallons of rice, that rice is going to be all over the ground.
It is.
No need to prep if you're a grasshopper. Just make friends with an ant. So that brought up my wife. So I was telling her about one of the guys was talking about what they call a get home bag, and you just have stuff to like that you would need just to get home. Like if you need 2 or 3 days to get home, or say 2 days. Say you're in our case, like you're in Columbia, something happens and you just got to get back home. That's 45 minutes to an hour, a day's walk kind of thing, half a day. But what would you need to get home in a state of panic like that? And my wife says, y'all don't watch enough Hallmark channels. I said, what do you mean? Because they tell you everything you need to know. The local guy comes to tow your truck. He takes you to his little town. You befriend the people at the bakery or the inn. You work there, and they take care of you. And I was like, honey, I'm talking natural disaster, not snow. Not getting snowed in. And Candace Cameron is not coming to our area.
That's right. But
that was her way of getting around it, get home bag. Just kind of funny. You know, stuff like this makes you think.
It does. And then my wife, her and her cousin and my brother's wife, they were all three together going to Tennessee when this happened. And they left Friday morning. Everything was beautiful here. The weather had stopped. The skies were great. And so they went ahead and they were going, because the group of women at church were going to Tennessee for a women's retreat for the weekend. And so they just saw here and everything was good. They didn't realize what they were driving into was the tail end of all that devastation up in Hendersonville and Asheville and everything.
Which is crazy because, I mean, it was nice. But I went walking that morning, and we had 30-mile-an-hour winds, rain sideways, and there was all kinds of trees downtown.
Well, they left at 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock, there was no wind. Everything was died down.
Yeah.
So they thought that they were safe. And they drove right. They just followed this storm. And so they drove into all that destruction. And they made it as far as Hendersonville, North Carolina, which, if you don't know this area, it's about a 2-hour drive. And it took them 12 hours to get to Hendersonville, realize this is a bad idea, turn around and come back home. So it took them 12 hours for a 4-hour trip.
Yep.
And the women, they were scared to death. I mean, to tell you the truth, I was a little worried myself.
Yep.
But they were all safe.
And she was saying, well, there's nothing on the website that said anything different. And you said this. Nothing was posted. Because that whole area had no internet.
No internet.
No internet. No cell service. So, I kind of questioned I questioned it. I was like, how much faith you got to have in God to get you through when the hurricane, you're driving into it, for a retreat. It just made me go, what? I don't know. Kind of, it reminded me of the little story where the guy's like stranded on the island, and the boat comes by and he said, "No, I'm waiting for God to save me."
Right.
And then the guy on a jet ski comes by and said, "No, I'm waiting for God to save me." And then he ends up dying, and he gets up to heaven. And he says, "God, why didn't you save me?" He goes, "You dummy! I sent you out this. But yeah, glad they made it home. There's all kinds of videos of people trying to get up there and getting rerouted, and then semi trucks taking dirt roads up the side of the mountain to get around.
Yep.
And getting stuck. And then Google redirecting you, and then the dirt roads are washed out or destroyed. So, but But anyway, so pay is, I got pay Friday. I went up Friday morning and met, well, late morning, early afternoon. Got her, so she is home. The wife is relieved, and she's home for the next 2 weeks. They canceled classes next week, and then the following week is fall break. So she's actually home for 2 weeks. So, and then we got to see what the college ends up doing, because there was still a few professors that they couldn't get a hold of. So, because unfortunately they live in Asheville, in around that area, into the southern part of Tennessee there. So, hopefully they get a hold of that. Whatever. A lot of people fill their freezers all year. I don't stock my chest freezer until November through February. Yeah. Being up there in Ohio, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You keep very little in the freezer. Oh, we had enough to, our freezers were always full, but it was like vegetables and stuff from the gardens. So was the main thing. We weren't big meat, we didn't stock a lot of meat growing up. Chicken or something like that. The Swan man, he used to come by and we would stock up on, whatever he was making or bringing.
That the guy with the chest freezer in the back of his pickup truck?
No, the Swan man was it was basically a mobile freezer, and he would bring you ice cream.
Oh.
And you could buy ice cream off the truck, any kind. He had frozen foods that you could get. We used to love it when he came.
And we used to have a guy running around here in his pickup truck, had a couple chest freezers in the back with him, plug into an inverter, and opened it up, and you got your chicken, your steak, your pork, everything.
He tried selling me the whole freezer. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that.
I can remember, it used to be if you bought so much, they gave you a freezer for free to keep all the food in. Because that was the people's number one way to get out of it. I got nowhere to keep all this food. So they give you a freezer.
Yeah.
Bring off some of this oil.
Yeah, that was kind of like with the Omaha Steak guy.
Right.
He come by in a beat up pickup truck. Looked like it was something Fred Sanford was working on. Rust holes everywhere, and he's like, "You want to buy some meat?" Like, no. But so let's see. Your Panthers play Chicago today. Chicago. Okay. And the Bengals play the Ravens. Don't really have any news about NFL because I didn't pay no attention all week.
I did see something yesterday. Don't know if it was just clickbait or not, but saying that Bryce Young, the Panthers are now talking to Miami about getting Bryce Young over there. So that could have been clickbait. I didn't go into it and read it all, but I saw that and I'm like, wow, it didn't take us that long to get rid of him.
Yeah, he I don't know. I've got my thoughts on him.
Okay, where is your women? This will work. I'll use a tractor.
We could probably spend a half an hour just watching Rusty try to find stuff right in front of him.
Yeah, well, I've never cooked here before.
Yeah. They actually wear the gloves at. I was like, same place they've been for 6 months. But let's see. So what else we got going on? I think kind of an odd week. Wife's been feeling it too. Just kind of blah. But we're getting ready to go away this next weekend, so I got to get the oil changed in the Kia, and
Teresa just went and had the oil changed day before yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it because it's a whole lot faster and cheaper. I don't know about faster; it's just cheaper.
Go down to Walmart Auto Center, $25 for an oil change. And I mean, the last time I changed oil, I couldn't buy the oil in a filter for $25.
No, they cost me that just for the oil for the Zoom.
And so we've been going to Walmart for probably, I don't know, she's hunting on there for the last year or so. It's $25.
Oh. Well, I might look into that. Let's see. So what else is new? You watched anything interesting?
No, I don't watch TV.
Oh, videos.
I just watch the same old stuff. One guy I like, his name is Blue Gabe. He's a big fishing guy and does a lot of hunting and stuff. He lives in Florida, and something was pretty cool.
Still got that burner on.
I know. I just turned it down really low because I'm fixing to put the chili in here to heat up the chili. Unless I just put this in the microwave.
No, you can put it in. You got all the oil out of it?
Not all of it, but most of it. But he just started his YouTube. Well, not just started, but he went to the beginning of his YouTube channel. He said, introduced us to this man. Said, hey, whenever I first started this, I had no money. I had nothing. It was just a dream. And, he had no place to stay whenever he was, doing these extended trips out. And this guy just, it let me come in. He took care of me. He fed me, blah, blah, blah. Just this story from his humble beginnings. And he lost everything in the hurricane. The only thing that was left in his house were the 12 stilts that his house was built on. And so he was talking about helping him out and stuff. And they just went out to Florida in his yard, showed where his stilts were, where his house was. And it was just, it was pretty powerful whenever you see. I mean, yeah, you hear about it, and we have a lot of issues like that here in this area where people have just lost houses that completely blown down the road or floating down the river. But to see it's happening everywhere. It's not just here.
Right. And
through his YouTube channel, he said, hey, these guys have been promised this much money from the state or whatever, but he's saying they have absolutely nothing. And through his YouTube channel, they done raised something like $150,000 for this guy to rebuild.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how the power of a voice like YouTube can help people.
Yep. I agree. Speaking of which, there's a YouTube guy we all know, Rick's Barbecue and Specialties. Keep Brother Rick in your prayers. He's been, he's got a little situation going on, and could use some prayers and some cash. So, while you know that, if you don't know, look into it. Brother Rick's been around a long time, helping out and doing stuff for people. So, if you feel inclined, look into it. Yeah. So let's see.
All right, time to play.
So the one cool thing that happened last week was at the game was they inducted Julius Peppers to the Panthers Hall of Fame. That was kind of cool. They had a little montage of some of his clips of his highlights from his time as a Panther, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, he started and ended his career as a Panther. He went from us to Chicago, and then came back and retired.
Yep. So that was kind of cool. Man, what else we got going on? I don't see Scotty in here. He had some pretty big cuts. He was looking for a spiral ham. I don't know if he ever found one.
Yeah, I saw that. I told him, I said, just stick your ham on a rotisserie and hold a machete on top of it.
Well, I don't think he could even find a ham. Not just a spiral ham, but a ham in general.
You do eat tomato, right?
Yeah. Not the only thing I don't eat radishes and lima beans. I can care less for peas. But so, Honey Badger, you're talking about the kickoff grill. I don't have that one. I got the Lodge Sportsman's grill, and I hadn't used it in quite a long time. And I just started using it again. I got to looking at it, and I was like, man, it's awful cruddy. So I cleaned it. I put it in the live tank, soaked it for about 2 weeks. Got 2 coats of seasoning on it now. I just got to put it back together, and that was a heck of a process because I did the doors and the cold grate in one batch, and then did the bowl and the bottom in another. So I just got to get it put back together. The cook grate, I mean, that still looks okay because it just gets a lot of oil put on it. So, but I haven't used the cook-off grill yet. I don't have one. I was looking at them, and I just don't know if I would use it being I got the Sportsman's grill. Yep. YouTube is proof you don't need taxes. If the public wants something, they can all use it to raise money for it. Yep. Yeah, you can't stop when people want to do something. You can't stop them. They can try, but this devastation reminded me of Katrina.
Yeah, they're saying that this one ranks right up there with Katrina as far as damage.
Yeah. So it reminds me a lot of that. So, but don't know. Been kind of a somber week this week. Just anticipation getting paid home and kind of hearing all the stuff and whatnot. So it was good to get on the Keto Show with Keto Mike and do something aside from all this, talking about all this stuff and speculating and all that. So anyway, let's see. So the Keto Show, Cub threw out a challenge that we had to cook something sweet with certain keto. It had to be keto, something sweet, and the colors orange, black, or and or purple. You could have 2 or all the colors. So I don't know what's he got here. Okay. That looks pretty decent. All right.
And here is your winning bet, sir.
All right. Ooh, yeah. Looks better in person. Let me get a little snappy snap. You might have to bet more often like this. See if we can't get a snap here. There, Scotty.
How's it going, buddy? Did you find that spiral ham?
Yeah, we were just asking, we were talking about your spiral ham.
I told Lee, I told you just get a ham sticking on a rotisserie and hold a machete over it.
But I don't know if he could find a ham, though. I think the last time he was looking for a spiral ham, he ended up getting a canned ham. Well, I cannot take a steady picture for nothing.
Yeah, just set it up here where the light is.
Oh, I gotta get up. Let's see. Got a different camera angle. Ugh. There we go. And it's on a spooky plate. All right. I'm ready to try this. Well, I guess I could get in frame here. All right. That chili plays pretty well with the sweet taters. First, you're kind of like, but then it's like, ooh, I like it. Mm-hmm. Let's go in for this chicken. What a big bite. That's good. I like that seasoning. It's got a kick in the back end, though.
Okay.
It does have a little kick in the back end.
Yeah, I just opened the package this morning. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, that's good. I like the mayonnaise and the
toasted bun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like all that. Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Good job. All right. Good.
And an hour.
Yeah, right. Yep. All right. I'm trying to read this. Hold on. I'm going to take this over here today.
All right.
All right. It says, live in a small town near big box stores, 120 miles round trip. Wow. So yeah, he found him one. Spiral cut pulled ham. Okay. What you like about the kickoff grill is you can flip it over and use it for a fire pit or as a griddle. Okay. Well, I started, I had got this griddle, that fits on my Sportsman grill, so I just keep those together. I just got it. The video I did on Spam and Eggs, that is the first cook on that griddle since it's been refurbished. Honey Badger says, good job, Rusty.
Thank you, sir.
All in under an hour. Scotty was busy filming. Hey, buddy, it's all right, man. I know you do a lot on the weekend, and you upload like crazy on the weekend, so all good. All right, well, let Rusty try it out and see what he thinks.
The seasoning is good.
Mm-hmm. I like mayonnaise and lettuce on my chicken sandwich. Something about that just works with it.
Yeah, but I do. I feel that little bit of heat in the back. This is really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, why don't you send us out of here, Rusty?
All right. Keep those affected by this storm in your thoughts and prayers. And if you can help, please do. Just remember, there's 2 rules in cooking. Did you have fun? Did it taste good? Rock on. Y'all are awesome. Y'all have a great week, guys.
Have a great week. Who Dey? Do I get a Who Dey?
You got one.